Hello and welcome to my video on how to install and run a WAMP server with WordPress plugin installed too. First of all, you have to go online and download WAMP server. It's easily Googled. If you type in WAMP, it should pop up pretty fast. I'm using version 2.2a and it's 64-bit. As far as the WordPress goes, it's version 3.2.1 and it comes in a zip file. Alright, so first off, I'm going to go ahead and run this installation for WAMP server. Alright, it tells you the versions of each program that comes with this. Apache, MySQL, and phpmyadmin are what we're going to be focusing on. Typically don't use the last three, but they come with the package, so let's continue. I accept this agreement, that's fine. I'm going to install it in the root directory inside of the WAMP folder. I'm going to click Next. I would like to create a quick launch and a desktop icon. So next, install. Alright. Next, the installation will proceed to ask you what your default web browser would be. And by default, it chooses Internet Explorer.exe. But since I don't use that, I'm going to go back to the root directory, which is C, and scroll down and click on Program Files x86 and go down and find Mozilla Firefox. Alright, Firefox.exe, and that'll finish the installation. You can specify an SMTP server for your email if you would like to do that, but I usually just leave this all default. Click Next. We're going to go ahead and launch it so that I can test it. Make sure everything's working. Alright, it's green down here, so I'm gonna go to my local host, and here it is. Alright, first of all, I need to go to Tools down here and click on phpmyadmin. Before we install WordPress, before you do that, you have to add a database for it. Otherwise, it will not install. So you have to go up here to Databases, and then under Create a New Database, type in WordPress. That's what the default is whenever you run the installation. Alright, database WordPress has been created. Everything should be fine the way it is, so close this out. Close the installation file out. Okay, I'm going to take WordPress and come down here to the system tray, left click on it, and I want to go to the www directory, which can be found in the root directory inside of the WAMP folder. Alright, you see that address right there? Alright, I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop WordPress inside of the zip file into this folder. So WordPress should be dragged and dropped into the www folder. Close this zip file out. Next, whenever that's finished, it should be finished by now. Alright, yeah, it's done. We'll go to the icon down here that's green, left click, and I want to restart all services. Okay. Alright, go back to the local host, come down to WordPress under your projects, that's new, and create a config file. Alright. It needs the information about the database that we created, so let's go. Alright, the database name was WordPress, that's fine as default. The MySQL username by default is going to be root, okay? And then the default MySQL password is non-existent. Alright, so the database host is on the local host, and the table prefix is fine as is. Alright, run the install. Alright. Now we need a title for the web page, so I'm going to call it something different. Codiddle's Workshop. Alright, username admin, that's fine. Password, something real simple I can remember. And my email is going to be the one on my domain. I have the option to allow my site to appear in search engines like Google and Technorati, whatever that is. Alright. Success. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. And here's my dashboard. I can do a lot here. This is the administrator settings. You can go on here and create posts and different web pages. You can change the theme. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. 2011, that's the default, so I can change it to 2010 real quick with a click of a button. Activate right here, and now I've changed my theme. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and log out of here. Well, first of all, I want to see if it's working on my local static IP. Okay, this is forbidden, and that's fine. Now, if I left click on this server, put online, alright, it's green. I'm going to hit reload, and here it is. Alright, so now I can access it through the router, through any computer on the local network. Alright, so the next step is one that is a little more complicated. It's publishing it out on the internet. Okay, so what you want to do is go to Control Panel and then go to Windows Firewall and then find Advanced Settings. Click on Inbound Rules, and you can see I've done this a few times. You want to go to New Rule. Okay, and you want to click on Port right here. Next. Now what you're doing is you're unblocking a port from the firewall. And right here on specific local ports, you want to type in 80, port 80 for HTTP. Okay, hit next. You want to allow the connection. Next. Yeah, unclick domain. I don't think you need that. Click next. Name, you can type anything here like Apache, WordPress, server, just description, Apache, port 80, WordPress, blog. That's fine. Just, I always try to be as specific as possible. Close that out. Alright. As you can see, I'm not connected to the internet, so I'm going to have to get in range of the internet in order to proceed any further. So I'm going to pause this. Alright, I've changed my location and I have internet now. So I'm going to create a new tab here and go to my router. Alright, default settings for my router. Close that out. Come over to, mine's a Linksys by Cisco. Click on Applications in Gaming. Yours may be different, so be aware of that. Okay, I've already done this. I've got Apache here. External port 80, internal port 80. It's a TCP port, and I have my static IP on this laptop set to 192.168.1.13, and I have this enabled, so that's all good and well. So I'm going to save that, even though I didn't change anything. That's fine. Close that out. Alright, so my port has been forwarded. Now, what I need to do is find out what my external IP is. Now, one way to do this is just to go up to Google and type in the question, what is my external IP? And it'll answer it for you. It's right here. My IP is this. So I'm going to take this and paste it right here. And I have my WAMP server homepage on my external IP. Now this can be accessed from the outside world now. Alright, so it's being broadcasted out there. Here it is. That's really all there is to it. You want to set up your static IP, and then you want to let your firewall bypass this port, and then you want to forward it so that it's out of the network and not just restricted to your local network. So I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.